Welcome back into Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head over to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta into your browser, find our page there, and of course, subscribe to it. As we always ask you, we are free and available to download on all of your favorite podcast platforms, Spotify, Odyssey, all your favorites. When you get there, leave us a 5-star review. And of course, you can follow me on my personal Twitter page. That would be at JMCH316. We were talking about the fact that Matt Olson and Marcell Ozuna, in some ways, aren't having the kinds of years that we expected out of them. But one of the things that has been the real bright spot of this team have been the contributions of Spencer Strider, Kyle Wright, and Michael Harris. Now, Kyle Wright is still a rookie in terms of baseball experience. He's never had more than 50 innings in a season. So you look at the contributions of Kyle Wright, 7-3 this year, 2.57 ERA, 12 games that he started, 73 innings pitched with 80 strikeouts thus far, almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. Strider, of course, 2-2 on the season, 57 strikeouts and 38 in a third innings. And Michael Harris, I mean, how about these numbers? In only 63 at-bats, 6 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 9 RBI, hitting in the number 9 spot with a couple of stolen bases, 317 with a 540 slugging and an 878 OPS. Now, you know what's funny is we came into this season thinking that the Braves were such an established roster, right? They had pretty much brought, again, no Freddie, I understand, but you went and got Matt Olson, who's not a rookie or anything. You went and got arguably the next best option that you could get at first base. So you thought that, okay, this is a pretty veteran-laden team. We're running everybody back, and we're going to be in good shape. But I don't think we saw these kinds of contributions coming from as many of the young guys as what we had. You could throw William Contreras into that mix as well. And I know he's been up and down a little bit with this team and trying to figure out, and they didn't know what position to play him and this, that, and the other. So when you throw him into the mix, think about how much contribution guys that we would not have expected at the start of the year to provide this club. So, as we talked about in the last segment, while maybe Olson and Ozuna aren't on the kind of pace years that we thought that they would be, the fact that you're getting so many contributions from a Strider who's only, a couple of years into his major league, career. I mean, he was just drafted a couple of years ago. Kyle Wright's been a guy that we've been waiting and wondering about, okay, when's he going to get on track? Well, now it's starting to come together this year. Obviously, Michael Harris has been their number one prospect, but when you think about the fact that didn't spend a single day in AAA, just how poised he is up here at the major league level. It doesn't look like the moment's too big. It doesn't look like the lights are too bright. It doesn't look like he's a guy who's fazed by anything. And obviously defensively, besides his offensive numbers, defensively, how good he's been. And then the job Contreras has done, both as being the second catcher and providing a big bat in their lineup. I mean, 9 homers and just over 100 at-bats for Contreras, 89 at-bats, 101 plate appearances, but 89 at-bats. He's got 9 home runs in that time. So it's kind of funny the way baseball works is just when you think you have things figured out, right? Or how about let's use the Roddy Piper line? Just when you have the answers, I change the questions, right? And that's the thing about this Braves team is you can get away with Olson and Ozuna maybe not having the kind of years that you thought because you've gotten so many contributions from other people. You can get away with Charlie Morton kind of getting banged up, beat up around, and kind of slow to get back into his form and this, that, and the other, coming off the injury in the World Series and then, not having an extended spring training. So you get a Kyle Wright that emerges. Okay, you're looking for another fifth starter or you need a guy out of the bullpen. Here comes Spencer Strider and his 100-plus mile-an-hour stuff just out of nowhere. So it is pretty amazing to think that for a team that we thought, think about, okay, we're set at first, set at second, set at short, set at third, right? Our infield set and ready to go. Darno is back. They signed him up. Charlie Morton's back. Got a couple of years on him. All right, Duvall is coming back. Ozuna's going to be here. Ronnie's going to be here, okay? We got all these guys that we thought, okay, we're pretty much set. There's really no room for anybody to come in and maybe make a big breakthrough. And then here comes Michael Harris and Strider and Kyle Wright and the job today, and Contreras and the job that all of those guys have done. It is amazing because let's be honest. I mean, they need every bit of all of these guys and what they have done this year. Contreras has won. Michael Harris's defense alone has helped you to out there. Strider's been really effective. Kyle Wright has been outstanding. I mean, if Max Fried hadn't been having the year that he's had this year, where his strikeout to walk and ERA and everything has been so good, Kyle Wright may be looked at as the best pitcher that the Braves have this year. And he's certainly trying to make a case for that. I mean, he's tying the team lead in wins along with Max Fried, and even has a little bit better ERA than Max does. But crazy to think that this team found these guys to contribute. And that's the mark of a good organization, and obviously a team that is flexible enough to say, okay, let's find some guys. And we talked about this way at the very beginning of the season, is this is still a good time to get an evaluation on your young guys, even though this team is now mode and they're probably not in line to want to play many rookies or play many young guys, because we're ready to win the World Series now. Won it last year, defending champs. We're going to come in and we're going to be, again, another World Series contender this year. You don't normally get into playing a lot of young guys and things like that. But because of injuries and different things that have happened, and necessity, right? Necessity is the mother of invention. Because of some necessary things, it's forced these guys in, and they've done an outstanding job. So we talk about the veteran leadership and the depth of the lineup and running it back and all the guys that were coming back, right? You thought that, okay, the top three of our rotation, Fried, Anderson, Morton, that's, one of the top threes in baseball. It may not be number one, but certainly one of the better top threes in Major League Baseball at starter. And we'll just kind of figure in, who's going to be fourth, fifth, this, that, and the other. Maybe Soroka will be back, or this, that, and the other. And then along comes Kyle Wright, and he has the outstanding season that he has. And you're thinking, okay, what can we do out of the bullpen? Matzik's hurt. Luke Jackson's out. Here comes Strider, and he fills in a role like that. Well, we need help in center field. We can't play Adam Duvall every single day. Oh, our number one prospect. And you don't normally see that for a team to, I don't want to say rush, but jump a number one prospect in your organization so quickly when you have been so successful, right? I mean, if you're a bad organization, that's normally when you start to jump your top prospects and get them up to the major league level. If you're not going to win, you might as well not win with your best young guys and things like that. And Alex Anthopoulos has even talked about this, that because of being in win now mode, maybe some of those guys, the Christian Pachés, the Drew Waters, at times those guys didn't get some of the chances that they probably would have, say, 3 or 4 years ago, had they had come up earlier in the organization and things like that. Had Pache been the number one prospect, say 4 or 5 years ago, when they were still kind of in rebuild mode, those guys probably would have played a lot more. But because of being in win now mode, you don't normally see these guys come up like this, but their rookies have been outstanding, and their young guys, including Contreras, have been outstanding. And it's one of the big reasons why this team has figured things out and been able to turn it around. All right, when we get back, we will talk about the Falcons' ranking for their defensive line in Pro Football Focus. Yeah, not good. Hitting hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.